So when I said I like Trump to like someone that's liberal, they'll say, oh, but he's racist. You think racism can control me? Oh, that don't stop me. That's an invisible wall.
Is it offensive? Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Pocahontas? I think she's as Native American as I am, okay? When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. I want surveillance of certain mosques. Negotiating with China. They say, we want deal. I'm asking for the vote of every single African-American citizen in this country. What do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose? Oh, look at my African American over here. Look at him. We are from India. All of my friends in Little Havana. We are also praying for the people of Puerto Rico. We love Puerto Rico. And we also love Puerto Rico. Sit down, please. Sit down. I didn't call you. I didn't call you. Excuse me. Excuse me. Would you please sit down?
On the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also saying
I don't know why you'd
that
say
the
that.
president.
It's such a racist
There
question.
are some people.
To say that, what you said, is so insulting to me. It's a very terrible thing that you said. The metrics right here. That's my metrics. That's all I can do. China has total respect for Donald Trump and for Donald Trump's very, very large brain. I speak from here and from the heart. I speak from the brain, but I speak from the heart. It's both. We speak from the heart and we speak from the brain. We're going to deal from the heart. We're going to deal from the brain. I had to speak from my heart and my brain, just so we understand. My deadline is what's up here. We'll figure out the deadline. You know, up here, very important. So important for right up here, the psyche. It's called like up here, and it's called memory, and it's called other things. We have horrible people that have no touch, no brain, no nothing. We need brain in this country to turn it around. You need the brain. You need the brain.
You know, it's like pretty obvious to anybody with a brain.
Let's use the brain, not the toughness. So here I am. Great schools, great brain, which I want to use the brain for you.
I'm speaking with myself, number one, because I have a very good brain and I've said a lot of things.
This is the only musical, the mouth. And hopefully the brain attached to the mouth, right? The brain, more important than the mouth, is the brain. The brain is much more important. I think God helped me. I think, look, God helped me by giving me a certain brain, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. We thought we'd give you a update on the hurricane. We got lucky in Florida, very, very lucky indeed. We had actually, our original chart was that it was going to be hitting Florida directly. Maybe I could just see that, Kevin. It was going to be hitting directly, and that would have affected a lot of other states. But that was the original chart, and you see it was going to hit not only Florida but Georgia. It could have was going toward the Gulf. That was what was originally projected, and it took a right turn. And ultimately, hopefully, we're going to be lucky. It depends on what happens with South Carolina and North Carolina. We have a situation where we're looking very strongly at sinks and showers and other elements of bathrooms where you turn the faucet on in areas where there's tremendous amounts of water, where the water rushes out to sea because you could never handle it, and you don't get any water. You turn on the faucet, you don't get any water. They take a shower and water comes dripping out, just dripping out, very quietly dripping out. People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once. They end up using more water. So EPA is looking at that very strongly, at my suggestion. As I've said many times before, I've always said there was no collusion. Where is the collusion? They're still looking for collusion. Where is the collusion? In the meantime, no collusion, no obstruction, no collusion, no obstruction. There is no collusion. You know why? Because I don't speak to Russians. There was no collusion. There was no nothing. It's a disgrace. The only collusion is between Hillary and the Russians. They all say there's no collusion. And there is no collusion. It's a Democrat hoax. Yes, there was absolutely no collusion. They found no collusion whatsoever with Russia. No collusion. So they find no collusion. There was no collusion with the Russians. There was nothing. No collusion, which I knew anyway. No coordination, no nothing. There was no collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian people. There was no collusion. There was no obstruction. There was no collusion. And everybody, even my enemies, have said there is no collusion. There was no collusion. There's no Russia. It was all made up by the Democrats. The Democrats colluded with Russia. There was no collusion whatsoever. There's absolutely no collusion, which is very important. There was no collusion. There was no obstruction. There's no collusion. There's no anything. And you know the beautiful thing? No collusion between Donald Trump and Russia. No collusion, no nothing. There was no collusion. There was a hoax. There was no anything. No collusion. There's no collusion. There's no collusion, and there hasn't been collusion. Today, again, no collusion. The other day, no collusion. There was no collusion. China should start an investigation into the Bidens, because what happened in China is just about as bad as what happened with Ukraine. I just want to thank all of the incredible men and women who have done such a great job in helping with Florence. This is a tough hurricane, one of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water. Rarely have we had an experience like it, and it certainly is not good. Last night, the United States brought the world's #1 terrorist leader to justice. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. He was the founder and leader of ISIS, the most ruthless and violent terror organization anywhere in the world. The United States has been searching for Baghdadi for many years. Capturing or killing Baghdadi has been the top national security priority of my administration. U.S. Special Operations Forces executed a dangerous and daring nighttime raid in northwestern Syria and accomplished their mission in grand style. He will never again harm another innocent man, woman, or child. He died like a dog. He died like a coward. The world is now a much safer place. And I hope that this investigation now, which is finished, it's totally finished, no collusion, no obstruction. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings of that investigation. You look at the origin of the investigation, where it started, how it started, who started it, whether it's McCabe or Comey or a lot of them. Where does it go? How high up in the White House did it go? You will all get Pulitzer Prizes, okay? You're going to all get Pulitzer Prizes. You should have looked at it a long time ago, and that's the only thing that's disappointing to me about the Mueller report. The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges, how it started, the beginnings of the investigation.